Hello folks and welcome back to Fallout 76. On the last episode we explored Vault 96 and finally caught up with Doctor Blackburn, and now to, I think, maybe potentially finish off the Steel Ring questline, we are heading to West-Tek. I would be a little surprised if it carried on beyond this, but guess we'll see. I've been through West-Tek plenty of times. I'm just gonna ignore these guys, to be honest. Just gonna head inside. Trying to fire everything out there. So I'm wondering if this is a new area they've added to West-Tek, because I've scoured this place before and I don't think I've been in here since the Steel Rain update, so. Right. Have to deal with these guys. Oh yeah, there's a new door there. That was a hell of a burst. This thing may not have the best damage, but it's extremely reliable. And it doesn't have a huge fire rate, so it doesn't eat ammo. The same as my 50 assault rifle, or this thing. I guess I didn't really need to kill these guys. But, might as well, since we've already done it. Okay, now we get to go into the new area. Oh, never mind. Now we get to go into the new area. FEV production facility. Alright. Pretty much looks like the rest of the place. Be the oh no, it's gonna have me getting stuck randomly on the ground. Hate it when that happens.
Sure is better than dealing with the fanatics at the pit.
The Merc life is the good life.
Did they just mention the pit? I'm really looking forward to when they add the expeditions thing into this game and I can go to the pit. Really want to see that. God, I hate that stupid fix at Bethesda, Jesus. Just get stuck on nothing for no reason when you're in power armor sometimes. Oh, hey. And it's been a problem for a while, and they still haven't resolved it, and I don't understand why. It only happens on some interiors. It's, sometimes you have to literally get out of your power armor for it to fix it. Pretty frustrating. I thought I was meeting friendlies here. Did I somehow get here before them? Just gonna look around for any notes and stuff also while I'm in here. Not seeing any computers or anything yet. I mean, there's a lot of computers, but oh, there they are. Y'all, situated there yet?
Everything under control, Initiate?
There were some Hellcat mercenaries guarding the place. They weren't interested in talking.
The Hellcats were likely here to protect Blackburn's associates from the super mutants above.
Should we expect any further resistance?
I am not aware of the details of the defensive measures my colleagues may have taken. I would not, however, expect them to tolerate trespassers.
We should keep moving.
As you wish. I am your prisoner, after all. I have little choice in the matter.
I'm real tired of listening to Dr. Blackburn talk. But, anything you can tell us about your associates that might help?
Dr. Farhar is nominally the head of their group, Headstrong, an old university colleague. Dr. Jane was a junior scientist at West-Tek. Brilliant, but easily led. He shared my disgust at the Huntersville mistake. Nellie Wright, on the other hand, is Dr. Farhar's pet project. An adoptee of sorts. Very talented, despite her lack of formal schooling.
Okay, that didn't actually help. Alright, let's not waste any more time.
Certainly.
Let's move out. Eyes open.
Yes, let's move out. That was awkward. Uh-huh.
Edgar. Edgar, who are these people? What happened to the guards?
The guards are dead, Dr. Farha. This is the Brotherhood of Steel. I have been their guest since they discovered our project. Regrettably, they object to what we are doing.
We will not be intimidated. This facility is secure. You can't get to us. We will finish our work.
You can't possibly release the FEV on the population again. You know what it did last time.
This isn't the Huntersville strain. Dr. Blackburn has purified the virus of its considerable defects.
Oh boy, here we go again.
We've made something wonderful out of something horrible. We're helping people this time.
I don't buy it. I just don't buy it. But you haven't tested it. How can you know?
We've run the simulations. All three of us triple-checked the models and compared to prior experimental data.
Oh boy.
We're confident in the formulation.
Bet you were last time too.
You know what they say? Human testing is the best testing. A large-scale release will provide a representative sample. Science needs vision, like Dr. Blackburn's, like ours. Let's not let testing hold us back.
Okay, Nellie, you're not helping your case here at all. Have you actually had any successes? All I've seen are monstrosities and corpses.
Well, no. Not as such, but...
Of course we have. Experimentation has identified the key flaws in the original strain. Iterative testing has pinpointed the defective genetic sequences, and we've corrected them in each case.
You admit it's untested and you've had no successful trials. You know you can't release it.
Well, sure. It might seem hasty, but...
Don't be such a pushover, Janie.
No, wait. I've also had my doubts. Perhaps we should discuss this after all.
I can see you're troubled. You know what you're doing isn't right. Let's talk through this. We can come to an agreement.
Shin's gonna want to kill them all immediately.
But that's always on the table, as long as you hold Dr. Blackburn hostage. Let him go. Please, let him go or we will cut off this negotiation and proceed with our plans.
Oh my
I am
goodness.
afraid you will have to give in on this one. If you truly want to stop our distribution process, I advise you to listen to the doctor's entreaties.
Is this some kind of joke?
It is no joke at all. Allow me to explain. My colleagues could not stop production if they tried. It requires a code. I am the only one who knows the code. I set this plan in motion, and I am the only one who can stop it.
But you're gonna use your code
Is
to
this
just...
true?
Edgar.
You will have to forgive Dr. Farha. She did not know. I added this functionality to our distribution program. As insurance, you might say.
Boy, that's handy, huh?
So there you have it. I am willing to help you in exchange for sparing my colleagues' lives. But you will have to let me in there with them.
Why help us now? You said any price was worth your goal.
Perhaps in the end, I am more willing to sacrifice the lives of strangers than friends and colleagues. I do not wish them to be harmed. My hypocrisy in this is only human.
This guy is all over the place. Yeah, thanks, Shin. You can't expect us to trust you.
Trust me or trust me not. The truth remains the truth.
I have a feeling that he's just gonna go in there and he's just gonna let it go. But I'm gonna try playing this out. I don't like it, but I don't see any other choice.
I assure you, I have only a peaceful resolution in mind.
We cannot seriously be considering this.
But what other option do we have? If we do nothing, the outcome will be just as catastrophic.
Dr. Farhar, please permit me inside as a sign of good faith from the Brotherhood. I am certain we can negotiate a peaceful resolution and perhaps preserve our work at the same time.
All right. I'm registering you for the security grid. Just you.
With your leave,
Don't make this worse.
This is a mistake.
Probably. But if they fuck up and they go ahead and release it, they're all gonna die. So.
now that that is over with, Nellie, prep the test chamber. They want proof of our success. I will give it to them myself.
Edgar, wait!
You gonna infect yourself? You lied to us.
Only partially. A code is required. My helping you is not. It is only natural that I use wit to resolve such a situation in my favor. If your life was on the line, you would have done the same.
Edgar, please. Let's talk about this.
You've signed your death warrant, Blackburn.
I will test the sample on myself and be proof of our achievement. Anything you do to me after does not matter. I'm going in. Ready the tag.
We should have executed him when we had the chance.
Settle down, Shin. We'll still have the chance.
Now's not the time. We gotta find a way in quickly. There's no time to waste.
Why not let him infect himself? He's just gonna probably die anyways, and if not, we can kill him afterwards. Drop through the hatch. Okay.
FEV flow ready, Doctor.
Initiate procedure. Code accession.
Initiating.
This feels like a big,
This isn't right. What's this? No. What's happening?
I knew it wouldn't
This
work.
Copy. The figures were correct.
He's gonna turn into some boss, so we're gonna have to... Oh my. Yep. Okay. Oh, he's really tough. Okay. Holy shit. Oh dear. Talk about a bullet sponge. I knew there was going to be some sort of battle. What the hell is he doing? Okay. Okay, we're just gonna have to walk through this. This is the most bullet spongy enemy I think I've ever come across other than a Mirelurk Queen. I have no idea what he's doing here. Just kind of stomping around in place. Working on it.
Careful, this room is hazardous.
They do look dangerous. Maybe we can use that to our advantage.
Okay. So much for Dr. Blackburn.
This is what happens when we let people play God. This
Edgar, I should have known. I did know. We weren't ready.
No kidding.
I owe you an apology. Our work was a failure. Any good it might have done was a mirage. I knew it in my heart, but didn't listen. As a token of goodwill, I have used Edgar's code to stop production. We will not distribute the virus I will make sure of that. But I will not simply let you in. There may be little I can do to stop you, but I will defend my colleagues in what little way I can.
After what we just did to that mutant, you're sure you don't want to cooperate?
I must admit that I am powerless before you. If our cooperation can sway you to avoid more violence, then I will let you through. The way is open. We await your judgment.
So, we're not gonna...
Stop production. This whole sob story sounds like a trap.
We can verify that once the area is secure and send...
Just a little tangent about the,
Until then, stay on your guard.
About the story of what happened with Fallout 1 and the Brotherhood. We're not gonna do a repeat the Mariposa thing. Before the Brotherhood of Steel, where they just fragged all the scientists because they were angry at what they were doing. Blackburn definitely deserved it, but we're not just gonna annihilate these people right now. Unless they say some really dumb shit that makes me hate them. We're not gonna just slaughter them.
You've arrived. Please, hear me out. We are scientists. Our work is all we have to give to this broken world. We had truly hoped to give humanity a better way to fight back. Against the radiation, the mutants, the decay of civilization. We failed. But this doesn't have to be the end. There is so much good that we can still do, please. Spare us your wrath.
If it were my choice,
We weren't that far off, just a tweak here or there.
Shut up, Nelly. You're not helping.
If I may interrupt, I agree with everything Dr. Farha has to say. Despite how it looks, we are not evil people. We wish only to better humankind. Knowing that, what are your intentions with us?
Yeah, this is all bad, but I don't have any proof that these people were, like, involved with the experimentation the way Blackburn was. So I can either agree with them, or say, be unsure, or do a hardline, you're gonna die thing. I think I'm gonna choose this. We're still deciding what to do. I need to confer with Rahmani and Shin about this.
I hope that's not a threat.
The Brotherhood exists to keep humanity safe. And your work endangered everyone in Appalachia. If that failed virus had gotten out, countless people could have died. We can't allow you to continue experimenting.
Wait, Shin. It's clear that we can't just let them go. But their knowledge could be valuable to the Brotherhood and the people of Appalachia.
I was gonna say, have him...
the ringleader, but he's gone. We know nothing about the others. And of all people, you and I shouldn't fault anyone for trying to make a difference.
I can. And I will.
Is this still about back then? You can't forgive yourself for your own mistakes, so you refuse to forgive others too. When will you put that behind you?
This has nothing to do with that. There will be no more experiments. And they're too dangerous to keep prisoner.
Wait, you're really going to kill us?
Hold on. We're not killing anybody. We will bring them back to Fort Atlas and have Scribe Valdez monitor their work.
Have you lost your mind?
Think about it. This is exactly why the Brotherhood exists. To safeguard technology. I hate to admit it, but the Elders are right on this. We can't let them go, but we can't destroy what knowledge they have either.
A wise compromise. I'm willing to cooperate. You, the angry one. Consider the fact that universities are no longer operating. In a generation or two, there will be few, if any, people left in the world with a formal education.
How many dozens have you killed? Do you really think your life is worth more than theirs because of your education? We don't need your knowledge if you're deranged enough to resort to human experimentation.
Please, stop this. Let us stop for a moment and talk to each other. There's still much that we haven't told you about our work. And we know little about your Brotherhood. Perhaps we can find out more where our perspectives overlap.
Yes. Maybe some discussion will cool Shin's head. I have no desire for this to come to blows.
Very well. You haven't said anything yet? Surely you have an opinion on this matter.
I think we should exile Nellie over here to the glowing sea, and then we can just keep you two. I mean, sure, there's probably... I don't have any direct evidence that these two, as far as I remember, that these two were involved in a human experimentation, but obviously she mentioned it. Blackburn was the head that brought them down this road. And when it comes... I just don't feel right just slaughtering these people. Should I just... I'm not sure yet. I'd like to talk to everyone first. I just don't feel like it's the wisest thing to just frag them. Because Rahmani's partially right. They could be helpful. Shin's also right. They did allow Blackburn to go ahead with experimenting on people and stuff. Doesn't matter how lofty their goals were. This is one of those tough decisions. I'm not sure yet. I'd like to talk to everyone first.
By all means. We won't be going anywhere.
Let's see what Shin has to say. I mean, it's pretty obvious.
Those who commit crimes against humanity must be punished. It wouldn't be right to let them run free. Not to the people they killed, and not to the people they could kill in the future. The Brotherhood of Steel must protect the future of Appalachia, and of the world.
We're not going to let him run free, Shin. Earlier, Paladin Rahmani mentioned a mistake you made. What was that about?
That is none of your concern.
How long do you intend to sweep it under the rug like nothing happened? You're torturing yourself, Shin, and they deserve to know.
Maybe so. But this is neither the time nor the place for this discussion.
Shin, you owe it to yourself to admit that you made a mistake. Stop crumbling under the guilt and just accept it.
For those I failed then, and those I failed since, for them, I have to do better. The raiders on the expedition route, Rahmani decided we would stay and fight them. But giving the order to distribute the weapons to the settlers there, it was my idea. I wanted to give them a chance. But I got them killed instead.
See, we're back to this again. What was the alternative? Not give them weapons and let the raiders slaughter them while they were defenseless? I don't know. Don't you think it was the most compassionate thing you could have done?
The outcome is more important than the intent.
Not necessarily.
What I learned from that mistake was not to let my feelings blind me. Some things are a lost cause. Some chances are too dangerous to take. As much as we may want to believe otherwise.
I can't say I really agree with that, but... Hey, I understand what happened now.
Then I hope you'll also take away the same lesson that I did.
We're not... I'll get to my point here in a minute. You really won't accept any option besides execution.
I don't see what other option there is. As I stated before, they're too dangerous to hold prisoner. So we either ignore the danger, or eradicate it.
Dangerous? You're going to be monitoring what they're doing and directing their research. I understand your stance. I mean, I do, but...
This is bigger than all of us. I hope you understand that.
That's always the argument, isn't it? It's bigger than all of us.
We need to come to an agreement. I won't stand for impulsive violence.
So, this is like an even split for me when it comes to what to do. I've already mentioned why. But the reason I'm going to choose to not just have them killed is the Brotherhood already did this with scientists they found doing these kinds of experiments with the FEV at Mariposa. So we're going to throw a hitch in that timeline and not have them repeat it. Don't you think the scientists' methods were unforgivable?
Their methods were cruel and wrong. But no one is beyond forgiveness. What matters is what they do from today onward. Let's give them a chance to make things right.
I wouldn't say no one's beyond forgiveness. I don't agree with that, but I do agree with they could be useful. They could do a lot more good than they've done bad. What are you proposing we do again?
The scientists are to return to Fort Atlas with us and work alongside Scribe Valdez on a new project that we all agree upon. These are smart people. They just need to be pointed in the right direction. They could still do a lot for humanity.
I'm definitely split here a bit, but what if Knight Shin won't agree?
Then we must stand up for what we believe. We will not allow Shin to create a hateful brotherhood which passes judgment as it sees fit. This is human life we're talking about. Haven't enough died already?
You're right, we should try to solve this without violence.
I'm glad to hear you say that. Unfortunately, I'm afraid it may be a breaking point for Shin. Once he realizes his authority isn't respected, I suspect he'll run back to the Elders with his tail between his legs. This chapter of the Brotherhood will become what it should be, with or without Shin.
Okay, I understand your stance.
I hope you can see what we need to do here. What we need to do for the Brotherhood.
I wish Valdez was here to give her perspective because she's always a little more level-headed than all of these. Let me talk to Nellie here because I can already tell Nellie's a bitch.
I heard when the Brotherhood breaks down your door, they say, "Ad victory. Hand over your arms." Is that true?
It's ad victoriam, civilian. Now hand over your arms. We definitely do not do that. It's a little more complicated than that.
How so? You either say it or you don't, right? People are always saying things are complicated when they're not.
Can you tell me about the FEV project?
Wrong. It's all wrong. We ran the models, but the models were wrong. I know exactly where to change the ratios to make this work. I can make it work.
Give it
Just
up.
need
You're
one more
not.
chance.
No.
Don't run from science. Let us do this. Let us change the world.
No, you fucked up and you're not getting another chance. So about all those people you turned into super mutants.
What about them?
Well, don't you feel bad, those innocent people, now they're mutated beasts?
Is that any worse than being human? As Dr. Jane says, all life is sacred. You'd probably gun them down regardless, right?
Oh, don't try to give me that shit, lady. I don't like you. Those people had no choice in the matter. You kidnapped them.
To improve the human race. If I was kidnapped for our experiments, I wouldn't mind. Most kidnappers do much worse.
Okay, I think you're a sociopath.
Oh, are you a licensed medical professional? Even if you are, it's pretty rude to make sudden, unwarranted diagnoses of people you just met.
I think most people would agree you're a sociopath.
Okay, I guess.
What do you think of your colleagues?
Janie and Farah? Well, I don't think anybody liked me before Farah, so I'm glad we're together. Janie worries too much. He's always asking, are we doing the right thing? Is this gonna work? You don't know until you try. Edgar was the most fun of all. Too bad he miscalculated.
Yeah, I wonder why no one liked you.
You're not really gonna kill us, are you? I'm awfully young to die. You can fit a lot of experiments into 60 more years.
You're not gonna have any more experiments, thanks. Let me talk to Jane here.
I urge you to reconsider. This was never meant to come to violence.
Do you not consider kidnapping and human experimentation to be violence?
I never intended to hurt anyone. Dr. Blackburn was in charge of procurement. He told us they were volunteers. It was only later that... But by then... Please understand, we were so close. It could have ended any day. And everything we did was for the greater good. We must carry forward what we learned, or all that sacrifice will have been for nothing.
You're definitely not getting any more time fucking around with the FEV. But I kind of suspected, I assumed Blackburn was the one behind most of this. What do you intend to work on if we let you live?
Dr. Farha may disagree, but I'd like to finish the FEV formula. We can implement new safety measures. Animal experiments only. Thorough waste disposal.
I don't like the idea of animal experiments either.
So close to improving the human race as we know it. The world has changed, my friend. How are we to survive if we don't change with it?
You can't, not by forcing it, that's how. Can you tell me more about your colleagues?
They are good people. Dr. Farah is quite strict, but it's because she cares. About Nellie, particularly. The girl is unorthodox, but you can't fault her for it. We're all born differently into this world. And about Dr. Blackburn, well, the world has lost a visionary intellect. It's a shame. A tragedy.
Not really. He might have been smart, but used it for bad shit, and that's all there is to it.
Please don't let this work go to waste.
Your work is definitely going to waste.
What questions do you have for me? Or has your party made a decision?
What do you plan on working on if we let you live? Okay, so I'm asking them this, but obviously if we do let them live, take them prisoner, we're not going to be letting them work on the FEV. unless the entire Brotherhood agrees. And I don't think they will. So
We could focus the idea of human evolution into a more targeted formula. Say, a formula to increase muscle bulk, or to repel radiation. In fact, I hear serums of that sort may already be circulating among the survivors of the region. I'd like to study what they have created and improve upon it.
why don't you give up on the evolution thing? What are your thoughts on the FEV experiment?
It went too far. And quite frankly, I regret bringing the others onto this project. By the time I figured out that Dr. Blackburn was experimenting on humans, Nellie and Dr. Jane had already become passionate about the project. I was unable to convince them to pull back. I stayed, in the hopes that my objections could save even one innocent person from being experimented on.
So this is a really mixed group of people. I'm surprised to hear you weren't on board with human experimentation. You didn't mention that earlier.
There was no one interested in listening. I had to talk your superiors down first. The Brotherhood are a passionate sort, aren't they?
Oh, that's one way of putting it. How do you know the other scientists?
Dr. Blackburn and Dr. Jane were my college associates. They didn't know each other at the time. I met Nellie when she broke through my window to search for scraps, as wasteland survivors do. She was more interested in my research notes than my leftovers, so I took her in. Taught her what I know.
I still think we should choose this by just booting Nellie out into the wasteland and then keeping these two. Although, she's the only one here that seems to be... I don't know. This is a really mixed group of people, but I'm still think we're just going to let them live in my playthrough. I don't want to do Mariposa 2.0. No matter how horrible some of the shit they've done is, I think this just the choice I'm going to make this time.
And what has your organization decided?
Yeah, we're not doing this. Paladin Rahmani is, well, kind of right, but you should come to Fort Atlas and work under our supervision.
That's a relief. I assure you that you'll have our cooperation.
So that's it then. You and Rahmani would repeat the mistakes of the past and use these criminals to build more weapons of destruction. To send the world further down the path of chaos for your own gain. All while wearing the Brotherhood insignia on your chest.
You're being way more dramatic than you should be about this, Shin. That's not the thing.
The Brotherhood's mission has always been to use the power of science to guide us to a better world. Rather than murder great minds, we will shape them into people who will serve that mission. And we will do it without barbarians like you.
On that point, we agree. I refuse to serve an illegitimate branch of a principled institution. The Elders need to know about our failures. All of them. It will be my honor to give that report in person.
Smell you later, Shin. I'm not going to attack him. If he wants to go back and tell the Elders, he can. He probably won't give them the appropriate information. You don't have to do this.
I'm the only one with any sense of duty around here. It's a shame that I couldn't bring you around to seeing its value.
It's easy to follow an arbitrary set of rules, Shin. I'd rather make my own decisions and learn from them if I have to.
We are grateful. The work we do next could still change the world.
I kind of doubt it.
Go on ahead. I'll bring the scientists back to Fort Atlas, then we can discuss everything that's happened.
I really wish they would have given us a middle solution. Hard right and hard left is never a good thing to choose between. I wish Valdez was here, and I wish we had a third path to take here. Some sort of thing that... I guess it's kind of hard to explain, but I wish we wouldn't have a black and white decision. Anyways, I guess we can get out of here and go back to Atlas and see where we go from here. Still kind of conflicted about the path I chose, but I slightly lean towards they could still do more good than bad. They weren't all necessarily responsible for the human experimentation. I guess they probably could have stopped it, but it's the details are just foggy about how the timeline at which this all played out. So I've got to wonder how the original Maxon would respond also, because I remember him having regrets from his logs in Fallout 1 about him impulsively killing all the scientists when he learned what they were doing with the FEV in Mariposa. So I've got to wonder how he would actually react to this. You would have to assume that Shin would paint it in a very polarized picture for Maxon, but still. I'm also curious to know what Valdez has to say about this.
Friends, initiates, faces new and old. It's good to see you today. I am proud to announce that the mutant threat has been cornered and removed. But it came with an unfortunate consequence. I'm sure you all know that relations between Shin and I have been strained for some time now. I'm afraid my leaving out his title is no mistake. Shin and his followers have decided to part ways with the Appalachian Brotherhood. I had every wish to work together with Shin on my mission, and still do. But he is no longer open to discussion. His loyalty to the Elders is unshakable. He would rescind his oath before besmirching the Brotherhood's name. Should he ever open his mind, I will be ready to listen. Now I have one more announcement to make. I'd like to recognize a particular initiate's exceptional contributions to our chapter. In most cases, this recognition would take the form of a standard rank increase. However, being a knight is a dedicated responsibility, and it's become quite clear to me that this initiate has obligations beyond just the Brotherhood of Steel. I won't take you away from Appalachia. As such, I'm granting you the unique title of Knight Errant. Why don't you come stand between Scribe Valdez and I, so I may officially confer your title?
Never heard that one before. Sure. All right.
For exceptional contributions to the Appalachian Brotherhood of Steel, I hereby name you Knight Errant. You may split your time with the Brotherhood as you see fit. We are forever grateful for what you've done for us. Now everyone, feel free to take a short break before your next assignment. You've earned it.
I want to get Valdez's thoughts about this. Yeah.
So, Knight Shin is gone. I can't believe it. I wanted to be optimistic about their conflict, right up until the end. But the more I think about it, the more I feel like maybe this was inevitable. If only there was more I could have done.
Well, we could have used you there.
Both of them would die for their beliefs. At least this way, they can pursue those beliefs separately, rather than killing each other over them.
Really? Really? This doesn't seem like the right time to be doing that. It's unfortunate things turned out this way.
It is. But at least you and I are still here. Through everything, we made it. That's something we can be grateful for. So don't be a stranger. You have the freedom to go anywhere. But remember, you're a part of our Brotherhood now. You'll always have a home here.
So what are you gonna do now?
I'm going to keep doing my job. With one officer down, there's going to be a lot of slack to pick up. There's still a lot more I'd like to see out there, but right now, I need to support the Brotherhood.
How do you think the Brotherhood will fare with its new leader?
Things are gonna get a lot looser around here. Paladin Rahmani never believed in strict regulations. She's going to focus on recruitment and outreach. Well, if she can find the time.
Thanks for everything you've done.
Don't mention it. As the resident scribe, it's my job to keep things functioning around here.
Till next time.
Until next time.
Talk to random people and stuff.
So, Knight Errant? How does your new title feel?
Well, I've never heard of it before. Really? Right now? Like a freshly polished pair of shoes. Exquisite.
You deserve it. Don't let the wasteland tell you otherwise.
So what's gonna happen to the Brotherhood now?
Now, we can start making the Brotherhood the benevolent organization I always wanted it to be. Our focus has to be helping the people of Appalachia, reaching out a hand and making them feel safe. This is a new dawn. Be proud that you were a part of it.
So I know some people are more in line with like the following everything, like the Shin way of thinking, and being real hardline about things with the Brotherhood when it comes to choices. But in Fallout 4, we see what that kind of Brotherhood turns out to be, and it's not really that admirable. And we know that the Brotherhood survives just fine, and we know that in the Capital Wasteland, they made a lot of good with how Elder Lyons was doing things. And in this part in the timeline, we can have a separate side chapter like this that's helping the people of Appalachia. The Brotherhood survives and stays fine, regardless of what I do here. So, how are you feeling about everything?
I'm disappointed Shin would turn his back on us, but it's certainly better than the alternative. There were times I truly wondered what I would do if it came to it. If Shin pointed his gun at me, I know what I would do. So I'm grateful he didn't make me do it.
I'd still like to talk to some other people.
Take your time. You're a topic of celebration today. I'm sure they want to talk to you as well.
Use it.
Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. What are we gonna do? Who's gonna handle everything? Who's gonna lead the recruits? What am I gonna do? Oh gosh.
Deep breaths, Houston. Deep breaths.
Okay. Okay, I think I'm alright. I don't do well with really big changes. I think I need some time to process this. I'm gonna sit down.
We owe this victory to you, Knight Errant.
Thanks, generic clone of that guy.
Did that really just happen? I knew things between the higher-ups were shaky, but I didn't think one of them would actually leave. Especially Knight Shin. I mean, it seemed like the Brotherhood was everything to him.
Knight Errant.
Well, I guess things are going to change a bit around here.
I mean, not that much.
Oh, I agree wholeheartedly.
Whoops.
Look forward to it, even. Whatever reorganization we need to do, I'm sure it'll shake out into something even better than what we've got right now. Paladin Rahmani is the leader I want to follow.
Accidentally.
Anyway, I'm gonna get back to it. See you around, Knight Errant.
Title's kind of a mouthful, isn't it? No one else really to talk to.
Congratulations on your promotion, Knight Errant.
Thanks, clone number 2.
Enjoying the hors d'oeuvres?
Yeah. Well, my business at Fort Atlas is done for now. I'm heading out.
Don't be a stranger. There will always be a place for you at Fort Atlas. Ad Victorium.
Ad Victorium. Okay. Oh, I got Hellcat stuff. Is that power armor? Please tell me that's power armor. Yes, it is. And I think I got a suit of it.
We owe this victory to you, Knight Errant.
Okay, let me just head outside. Now, let me have a look at this right here. Oh, hell yeah. That's really cool looking. Hold on. The power armor I have on right now is really good. But I'm definitely going to rock this for a little while. I gotta say, it's pretty cool looking.
Okay, should see if anyone needs help with anything.
Okay, well, I mean, just taking a picture in here. So I guess that does it for Steel Rain. The next thing I'll probably cover is whenever they bring the expeditions in and we can go to the pit. There is a few other quests and stuff that I have in the Wasteland that I haven't done yet. I still have another character I'm leveling up to go through, like the vault stuff with the raiders. And there's a few other odds and ends. It depends on how long before the expeditions comes out. And to follow up with the how this played out, I knew that at the end of this there was going to be something like that, like one of them leaving. In the end, I think I chose the path I was most happy with. I'm not as okay with that whole hardline, crazy, fanatical way of that Shin was doing things, because like I said, I wasn't a fan of how the Brotherhood turned out in Fallout 4, which is more in Shin's way of thinking. I was more of a fan of the Brotherhood in Fallout 3, with how Lyons did things, which reminds me more of how Rahmani wants to do things, so that's why I chose that path. I'll probably do another in the future and go side with Shin just to see how it plays out. So overall, I I really liked the Steel Rain questline. I think it wrapped up what we had with Steel Dawn fairly well. I still really wish we would have had Valdez with us and we would have had a middle-of-the-road path. I think that would have made it much more interesting. Still, it played out alright. So that'll do it. I don't know when I'll be back for another 76 video. Like I said, there's still other things I'd like to do. It just depends on how long before we get to go to the pit that I'm going to record more or not. Still got Fallout 4 and Fallout 3 going on. And I've got some more New Vegas stuff to do. But yeah, that'll do it. So I'll see you guys next time. Take it easy.